In the heart of Africa, there once stood an ancient and dense forest, a place filled with rare trees, healing herbs, and thousands of animal species. For centuries, many tribes had depended on this forest for their survival. But with time, greed found its way in. The valuable trees of this forest became worth their weight in gold in international markets. Soon, powerful mafias stepped in, and illegal logging began. Gigantic trees were cut down overnight, and their timber smuggled away through hidden routes. Birds' nests were destroyed, animals fled in fear. The rhythm of rainfall broke apart, rivers began to dry, and the land slowly turned barren. The local people were helpless. They knew what was happening, but the fear of the mafia silenced them all. And then, from the same soil of despair, rose a man named Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim belonged to a small village at the edge of that very forest. From childhood, he grew up listening to the songs of birds, breathing in the scent of wild trees, and befriending animals that roamed freely in the jungle. He knew the forest like his own heartbeat, the names of its trees, the habits of its animals, the changes in its wind and weather. As a young man, he pursued environmental studies and became an expert in wildlife ecology. But when he returned home, what he saw broke his heart. The forest of his childhood, once alive with sounds and color, was disappearing. In its place stood empty fields. The herds of animals were gone. The birds had vanished, and the forest that had raised him was dying in silence. Ibrahim felt a pain so deep that it turned into a vow. He swore that he would save the forest, no matter the cost. But against him stood the timber mafia, armed with wealth, influence, and weapons. And all Ibrahim had was courage and knowledge. Yet, sometimes that is all a man needs to start a revolution. One day, while walking deep into the forest, Ibrahim noticed a large troop of monkeys. He stopped and began to observe them closely, the way they communicated with each other through sounds, gestures, and cries. The monkeys communicated with one another in a remarkable way. They searched for food in an organized manner, and whenever danger approached, they would raise a loud alarm. And in that moment, a flash of inspiration struck Ibrahim's mind. If humans could destroy the forest, then perhaps animals could save it. That day, a revolutionary idea was born in his heart, an idea he called the Army of Monkeys. When Ibrahim shared this plan, people laughed at him. They said he was chasing an impossible dream, but Ibrahim's resolve was unshakable. He knew that monkeys were intelligent creatures, capable of learning, communicating, and organizing. What began as a dream soon turned into one of the most astonishing environmental movements the world had ever seen. Ibrahim carefully selected specific species of monkeys, those that were more intelligent and stronger than the rest. Across different parts of the forest, he established small training centers. The monkeys were trained to recognize humans and machines by their sounds, signals, and movements. They learned to track silently and make noise only when danger approached. Some were even taught basic defensive tactics, how to throw stones or sticks to drive away intruders. Each group had a leader marked with a special symbol for easy identification. Tiny GPS trackers were attached to their collars so Ibrahim could monitor their movements from afar. During the training, a deep bond of trust grew between the monkeys and the humans. The monkeys were given proper food, care, and medical treatment. In just a few months, these ordinary animals transformed into an organized army, an army trained to protect the forest. Each troop was assigned a specific area to guard. Their movements, sounds, and signals together formed a natural early warning system for the jungle. The local villagers watched in awe as Ibrahim's incredible plan came to life. And then, the day of the real test arrived. One night, news came that the timber mafia had entered the northern part of the forest. Ibrahim immediately deployed 3 units of his monkey army. As soon as the thieves started their chainsaws to cut the trees, the monkeys raised the alarm, their cries echoing through the jungle like thunder. Suddenly, hundreds of monkeys appeared, leaping from tree to tree, shrieking and making a thunderous noise. They began throwing stones at the logging machines, shaking the silence of the night. Terrified, the timber thieves abandoned their equipment and fled into the darkness. That night, for the first time in years, the forest breathed in peace. By morning, word had spread across the entire region. The guardians of the forest have awakened. It was the mafia's first shock, but the battle was far from over. Ibrahim decided to make the monkey army even stronger. In the months that followed, the army carried out several successful operations. With every victory, Ibrahim's determination grew. Local villagers began to join his mission. Children were taught that the forest was their home, and protecting it was their sacred duty. Soon, international media caught wind of this extraordinary story. Environmental experts called it a partnership with nature. Nations from across Africa reached out to Ibrahim, eager to adopt his model of natural protection. The African government honored him with the title, Guardian of the Forests. Documentaries were made about his work. Wildlife began to flourish once again. Birds returned to their old nests. Rivers and streams started flowing again. The balance of nature, once lost, slowly began to return. But the mafia was still not ready to surrender. The final battle was yet to come. This time, Ibrahim combined the strength of the monkey army with modern technology. Drones were deployed to monitor the mafia's movements. The monkeys were positioned along secret jungle routes. The moment the mafia entered the forest again, the alarm was raised. Within minutes, the entire defense system sprang into action. Police forces moved in swiftly, guided by drone footage. The air was filled with the echo of monkey cries and flying stones. Panic spread among the criminals. Several smugglers were caught red-handed, their machinery confiscated, and vast portions of the forest saved. All of this, every victory, every breath of life that returned to the forest, was possible because of Ibrahim Traoré. And that is how one man's courage and one army of nature rewrote the story of Africa's forests. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. And join us again soon for another journey, another country, and another story of hope.